Hey everyone, I'm Jay.
And I'm Sean.
And we watched an episode
of WandaVision.
We did. It is week 7, episode 7, Breaking the Fourth Wall. 7 out of 9.
That's right.
How are we feeling about that?
Feeling good.
I'm feeling good if the next 2 episodes are each 3 hours long. Because what? And certainly they should be able to wrap it up in the length of a normal movie, but I don't know.
I think they can do it.
I liked this episode better than the last one.
I did too.
But it's not giving me enough still. I can't believe we're at number 7 and still talking theories, getting questions, very few answers. It's driving me crazy.
Well, the good news is it can only drive you crazy for 2 more weeks.
Yeah.
Well, just kidding, because it'll probably go into Doctor Strange.
That's right. I will be stewing on this for a whole year. Yay. I have to say though, I know I complain, I am usually a binge watcher rather than a week by week person. This is one of the reasons why I got away from normal cable television. But I am loving this week to week thing. I feel like this, I would not have appreciated half as much if I could watch the whole way through. It doesn't give you need that time to spin your yarns and poke through the theories and see what other people are saying.
It's true, that's a very fun part of this.
Fun and important part. It's almost like a treasure hunt, right? Finding all those Easter eggs and deciding what they mean or what they might mean and tuning in next week to see if you're right.
Yeah. It's true.
So I know some people in our comments have said like, oh, I'm going to wait till there's a bunch there to watch them. You shouldn't. Join now. Watch it. Do the week to week thing. I think it's an exciting experience, especially communally. We all get to talk about it then. It's not as fun if you're joining us after the fact.
I agree. So I think still for most things, and probably for like Falcon and the Winter Soldier, I would prefer to watch that all at once. Mm-hmm. But this is a little different.
This is different.
It is about the theorizing as much as about what's happening each week. Mm-hmm. Because they're just giving us even a few more clues this week to try and figure out how it's going to all end in 2 more episodes.
That's right. So, okay, with that said, let us jump right in. Let's start spoiling the episode, discussing the details. We need to recap this mother and then start talking turkey because, there are so many theories that you can spin out of this thing. It's getting out of control, but we have had some confirmed. So let's dig right in. So this week, we are firmly in the 2000s now. We are lampooning or paying homage, I suppose, more to the sort of breaking the fourth wall 2000s era shows like The Office and Modern Family and Parks and Rec. The Office is particularly paid homage to in the credits.
The theme song, absolutely.
You definitely can hear that little thing, but also the way we see them.
That's true,
that
yes.
is definitely, I know you might have always been pressing fast forward through the credits, but I know them. But the episode itself feels a lot more like Modern Family.
Yes,
of course, we did not even go to Vision's office at all, so it had to be more of a domestic one. In fact, Elizabeth Olsen, I think, is doing a bang-on imitation of Julie Bowen or Claire Dunphy. And I think I have fallen more and more in love with Elizabeth Olsen throughout this series. I have been awed by everything she is doing, episode to episode, just changing everything about her, but still retaining a very identifiably Wanda essence. I have been in awe of everything she did, but I think this episode in particular, because I'm more familiar with Modern Family, so I could see exactly like the hand gestures, the mannerisms, even the pause, the words, the big eyes, very Claire Dunphy. I couldn't believe how well she pulled that off. So because I'm more familiar with this, I could see more what she was doing, and then sort of in retrospect appreciate at an even deeper level what she has really been pulling off in this series.
She's carrying it, absolutely.
She is carrying it. We've all known that.
It's not even like 50-50 with Vision. No. Vision is a minor character in this.
Yes. So we start off, and our Wanda is going through a hard time. She is like hungover from using all that magic last night at the Halloween Spooktacular. She is going through what feels like a depression. You know, she's down. She's down, she's not feeling good. She's in her grungies. Not feeling it this episode. The kids are doing their kid thing, complaining about their game, which is going through some twitching. So I said to Sean, I bet you can identify all of the controllers, because we see like literally their controllers are twitching. And
it's true.
Yeah. Could Sean identify all of them? Yes, he could. Well. Yep. So I knew the Wii.
Most of those systems. Yeah.
I have not. So I knew Wii and I knew Uno.
Yeah, and there's a GameCube controller.
Okay.
And there's also an Atari controller.
Ooh. So they are twitching during all of these timelines. They would have been time appropriate to the different episodes. So Wanda's reality that she's created is not as stable as it once was.
No, she's losing it.
She is. Now, is this because it's going on longer and longer, or because she has recently expanded the boundaries, encapsulated more people? I mean, of course she would be growing weaker. This is tough. And she is somehow powering, what's his face? Vision. Vision. So, you know, she does have a lot on her shoulders, poor thing.
Absolutely she does. No one's going to criticize her for losing a little bit of grip over this reality that she's running.
Right. Even her milk is blinking on and off. It was
almond milk.
Almond milk in the fridge. Yeah. Oh, not yet, my dear, not yet. But yes, it blinks on and off, and she is telling us when it's her turn to break the fourth wall that she doesn't know why. She doesn't know why she's not controlling it. She doesn't know how to fix it. So this depression she's in is not exactly going to get lifted with everything growing increasingly worse.
No, it's not. It's going to spiral in on itself.
Yeah. So she really wants to have a quarantine-style staycation. She wants a day to herself without the kids. Luckily, Agnes is there to take them off her hands. We know that nothing is being broadcast right now. So why are they still looking like a sitcom? I think that's very interesting, because nothing is being broadcast anymore. And
yeah, well, maybe you just have to stream it.
Maybe they should try pirating it. Yeah. So I think that is very interesting. And then we cut to Vision. So obviously you may remember from last episode, we saw him trying to penetrate the boundary, trying to leave the hex, and it didn't go well. So the boundary reabsorbed him. And so when we join up with him today, he is still lying in the grass where we left him. And I think what's very interesting, so many interesting things really. Number one, the aspect ratio changes depending where we're looking, whether we're with Wanda in her sitcom, when we're looking at Vision, when we're looking outside the hex. But I really noticed it when Vision is waking up. And I just thought, what a interesting contrast we really are having with this show.
It's true. They're actually using aspect ratio in an interesting way. Unlike Zack Snyder in the DC universe.
Oh, that made me so mad.
Oh, it's infuriating. Where he's just going to do it at a stupid aspect ratio just because.
Just because.
But that's the difference between DC and Marvel. Is Marvel's using these things in a smart way.
Well, it's telling us something.
Yep.
It's telling us something about the period. I mean, and when we notice it, it's because we're meant to, obviously. And even when we don't notice it, it's a subtle difference that helps communicate where we are and who we're with.
Yep.
So I really like that they're doing this. To me, when we saw Vision and he hooks up with Darcy, Dr. Darcy Lewis was also absorbed in the hex last episode. She is now an escape artist in the circus, only for a few minutes until Vision reminds her of who she is, because that nonsense was gonna drive him crazy. And he needed an ally. He needed someone on his side who knows what's going on. Maybe not fully. Obviously, nobody, not even Wanda, knows fully what's going on.
No, but she helps him fill in the blanks in his past.
Exactly. So I thought when they were together, it looked or felt like Arrested Development.
I agree with that.
I have not heard anyone else say this. I think I might be making it up, or
no,
I don't know.
I see where you're going with
Just
that.
like the silly
It's
little
zany.
music. Yes, exactly. It had a little bit of that madcap feel.
Yeah.
So whether anyone else, let me know if you felt the same way when you watched it. And then we're also seeing, of course, outside of the Hex, where S.W.O.R.D. now has a temporary retreat. I really loved that designation. But of course, they had to flee the Hex as it expanded last
Yeah, it
episode.
took over their base.
Yes.
So they have relocated.
Yes. And we sort of have two different S.W.O.R.D. factions, sort of S.W.O.R.D. good and S.W.O.R.D. bad. Or S.W.O.R.D. Hayward, Director Hayward, and S.W.O.R.D. Monica Rambeau, if you will.
Yep.
Really, our trio, who's down to a duo. And now it's down to just one guy on the outside, Jimmy Woo, holding it down for the good guys, because the two ladies are now inside. Yep. Darcy got reabsorbed last week, and Monica, pushes
her way in.
Yes, her real goal to get in there. I was a little bit disappointed, and Sean knows this, because I felt like they were really making it her like little help coming in was really like a mystery, and so we were all wondering, who could this be? Turns out it's nobody.
Yeah, and I was thinking about that.
Yeah.
But maybe it is nobody because we haven't met the person yet. Because it's not necessarily that the Army SHIELD S.W.O.R.D. liaison was the aerospace engineer that she was talking about.
What?
We don't know that was the aerospace engineer.
No, we don't.
So maybe there still is an aerospace engineer.
All right, maybe there is. But the person we met, Major Goodner, no offense, lady, you're fine. It was just a letdown.
She's not Reed
from
Richards.
The build-up. No, she's nobody. That's the thing. She's nobody. So we felt we were going to get a cameo.
Yeah.
We got nothing.
Yeah.
At least this episode.
At least this
is
episode.
What you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay. But she does bring her moon rover.
She does.
So this is their big idea on how to slip Monica in safely. Guess what? No.
Doesn't work.
The Hex can outpower a moon rover. Pretty much chews it up and spits it out.
Yeah, and half minivan.
Yeah, well, that's the chewing up part.
Yeah, okay.
I'm sorry, I spoke in
metaphors.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well.
Anyways, so Monica does escape at the last minute, and Jimmy's like, don't do it, because he can read her mind now. She's a brash and brave lady, and she just makes a run for it, gets right in. And we see, obviously, other times it was more easy, but I think that border is getting more amorphous. It's getting more difficult to cross.
Yep.
And it seems painful going through. It seems like her cells are being pulled apart. We really have more of a sense of how her molecules could be rewritten, as Darcy has told her.
Yep.
Yeah, lots of cells being pulled apart and realigned.
And I think her mom is in there too. Certainly she is in there as a kid from Captain Marvel.
Well, we heard voices and stuff. So I felt like that was maybe just all part of her, but you felt like
one of the images was her mom that was splitting out from her.
Okay, fair enough. I mean, we heard from Captain Marvel as well, Carol Danvers.
Yep.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on. She is able to reassemble all of these selves or all of these aspects, and she comes out the other side with glowing blue eyes. So I think we are seeing the origin story of a new superhero.
Agreed.
Certainly, we immediately see that she can see things differently.
Yeah, she's seeing the energy.
Mm-hmm. So that's interesting.
Yes, it is.
And it makes her, again, we talked about last week, Pietro's in there. We know he is a superhero. Vision's a superhero. The two kids, Billy and Tommy, now have powers. So there's actually a lot of people with powers in this Hex now.
Yes, there are.
This is not just Wanda anymore.
No, it's not.
This is interesting. It's getting interesting. So yes, Darcy is in there. Like Sean said, they have a little sort of a car ride together.
Yeah, they have a funnel cake car.
Yeah, a little truck trying to get back to the town where Darcy has some time to fill in all of the things that he doesn't know about himself. Has to give a really quick little recap, really. Again, Ultron is referenced, and I think poor Vision to learn that he's part Jarvis and part Ultron. And he learns that he is dead and how he died. And so it was interesting, I thought. It called back to last week's episode when Pietro says, your dead husband can't die twice, and Wanda, of course, sends him flying for such a cheeky comment. But really, he already has died twice, at least.
That's right.
But he died twice then. He died
twice
when Wanda
in about 5
did it.
minutes of Infinity War.
And then Thanos rewound
Yep.
time and did it again so he could get the stone. So her dead husband already has died twice. I don't know. I mean, we know he didn't want to be brought back to life because he worried about how he could be used. And it is confirmed that this CATARACT program that we sort of learned about last week is in fact Hayward's attempt to bring him back to life to use him as a sentient weapon. So this CATARACT program is bad news.
Yep.
Monica, I mean, they feel like maybe they should tell Wanda about this, but maybe Wanda learned about it herself. Yeah, and that's part of why she got him out of there.
Could be.
Yeah. At any rate, Hayward is becoming more and more of a villain.
Oh yeah, he's full-on villain now.
Oh
he's
yeah.
Not even trying to hide it.
Not even. Meanwhile, poor Wanda, guys, she's not doing well. Agnes tells her that she was one split end away from cutting her own bangs. Such a great line, by the way. Love that. I mean, despite all of the craziness happening and all of the information they have to get us and all the clues they have to leave us, these little breadcrumbs that we're following like crazy little chickens throughout these episodes, there's actually some snappy, great writing happening. And so much so, I think it's kind of jarring when we leave the Hex. I think the outside the Hex stuff is never going to be as interesting as inside the Hex.
No, it's not.
They're doing such a great job. The writing is great. The production is great. I love these sitcom-y feels. We are loving those theme songs by the Anderson Lopez.
They're doing a great job. Absolutely.
So
They're
great.
every week.
Yeah. Gosh. And Wanda's telling her kids, like, that man is not your uncle. I really like that too. We know that Wanda's been suspicious of Pietro. The kids, I don't know if they're suspicious, but they know something's up. Yeah. Obviously, they have noticed the tension between him and their mother. So the kids are starting to learn that something is off. They're worried about Dad. Where is Dad? They have not seen him this episode.
No, they haven't.
So,
They didn't see him most of last episode either.
No, that's the thing. And poor little Billy, he has a headache from all the stuff he was going through yesterday. Today he's finding that some people are a little more quiet. So we said that Agnes came over and sort of gave Wanda the quiet time she needed. I like how she tells the camera in her little fourth wall breakage, I actually did bite a kid once. Those little asides that they do in Modern Family, it's a punchline to a joke you didn't know was being set up. I love those, and you kind of wish you heard the story here.
Absolutely.
What was Agnes up to?
Maybe next episode.
The kids are hanging out with Agnes. Billy does notice that Agnes is quiet on the inside. So again, we're getting these like red flags that something is a little amiss with Agnes. We don't know what yet. But wait, there's a commercial break. Brilliant commercial break. My favorite commercial, I think, so far. Last week, we didn't even get to talking about the commercial because we talked so long about the episode itself. Last week was that claymation one with the Yo Magic, the yogurt drink or whatever that the kid, was offered by this cool surfing shark, but never got to open, and so he dies. It's like a false hope, right? He thinks he's gonna live because he's been given this yogurt drink, but he doesn't. And then the shark tells us it is the snack for survivors, which is ironic since we did just see a kid die, which is pretty dark. Pretty dark on the Disney Channel. But yeah, I thought that was very interesting. I thought it was the commercial that made us work harder for its meaning because it wasn't super obvious. But it being, the product being called Yo Magic, was this about Wanda's magic and how she hoped it would help her survive this, but it actually turns out to be false hope? Or is the shark sort of representative of a deal with the devil that she made? Hard to say. Hard to say for sure.
Maybe we'll be able to figure out with a little more information.
Maybe we will, but not this episode, guys. Not yet. This episode, our commercial is for a drug. Which, I mean, this one needed to happen, guys. It is antidepressant style, but this is no antidepressant. In fact, this one is encouraging you to feel your feelings and may actually increase your depression. It is called Nexus, to anchor you back to reality, or any reality of your choosing. Important to note, probably. Because the world doesn't revolve around you, or does it? All very true, very applicable things to Wanda's present situation. Something is encouraging her, though, to drop what she's doing and to feel her real feelings. Nexus, I think, though, which is the name of the drug, is the important thing here. Because the nexus of all realities in the MCU, in Marvel, is a gateway where all of the realities of the multiverse sort of intersect. So, okay, it's possible that when she has created this thing, that she has ripped a hole in the universe and created one of these.
It is possible.
I mean, is that how Pietro got here? Is this how Agatha got here? Who knows who may have gotten here through this hole in the universe? But even more than that, we also know that Wanda is a Nexus being. We know this from the comics, I should say. Nothing like this has happened in the series yet. But she's a Nexus being, which means she is an anchor that helps protect us from threats from other realities. She doesn't even know this yet, but we know this in the comics, that that's what she is. So is she becoming this in WandaVision? Very possibly. But doesn't know it yet. I don't think she knows what she's really done or created. But this helps us explain why she has so much control over reality. She is changing reality to reflect what she wants it to. That's a kind of a crazy thing, and a new power for her in the MCU at least. The Wanda that we have known in the movies.
True.
So yes, that is who she is. That is, I mean, Nexus is potentially pretty significant. Especially since this commercial keeps telling you to consult your doctor. Ask your doctor. Who is Wanda's doctor? Well, there is a doctor in the MCU.
There's a Doctor Strange.
Yeah, there's a Doctor Strange. I would not be surprised to see him arrive, probably not until episode 9. But we know this movie is leading directly to his movie. Yeah,
doesn't it feel like it's going to be a Back to the Future scenario where Doctor Strange just arrives in the DeLorean?
Oh, I hope it's Wanda, a DeLorean. But we would.
It's your kids.
Very good, Sean. I mean, I'm looking forward to it now. Yeah. Of course, the way we're progressing, it's more likely to be a Prius than a DeLorean, but we'll see.
Well, yeah. We could end up in 2015.
There you go. So yes, so we've got Monica on the inside, showing up to Wanda's house, interrupting her staycation to confront her. And basically, I mean, Monica's tactic is basically saying, I'm on your side.
Yeah.
We have something in common, and that is grief. And we talk all the time about who is the true villain of this show, and of course, the true villain is grief. That is really the driving force behind all of this. So we can argue about who the number 2 villain is or the number 3 baddie, but we know grief is number 1. And Monica really wants to appeal to her on sort of a personal, emotional level. And it seems like she might be getting through. So of course, what happens? Agnes shows up right in that nick of time to drag Wanda away. Oof, gosh. And I think during that little exchange, we see Dottie again. Remember just last week I was saying, I used to be so suspicious of Dottie and now she's never there. We saw her for like a split second.
We did.
The mailman is also a suspicious figure. He's around for a lot of things. Both of them seem more knowing than they should be. So I do wonder if all of these neighbors that we're being introduced to, these nosy neighbors, are someone more than just neighbors. I have to go back to I think it's episode 4 when the sword people are working on identifying the people who are in there, because there were several people who did not get identified, and I'd like to know who those people are.
Well, they're probably not still working on it since they lost their base.
Exactly. And I do wonder if there are 7 of them. So we'll get back to that, okay?
Okay.
So Vision, of course, still trying to get home. Wanda and her little zany sitcom situation is making it very difficult for him to get there. So then we're not going to see those two interact this episode. We are going to see, though, Wanda goes over to Agnes's house because Agnes has, dragged her away basically from Monica. And Wanda realizes we have not seen those boys, those twins, in a while. And Agnes tells her, why don't you go see if they're playing in the basement? But we don't see the boys in the basement, which let's circle back to that in a minute too, because where are the boys? Mm-hmm. But let's talk about what is in the basement. It's a secret lair. It's a secret lair. It is Agatha Harkness's secret lair. Agnes's big reveal this episode, which is no reveal at all. We have known since before the season even started that this has to be who she is.
But it's confirmed now.
Confirmed, not just confirmed, but now it is known to Wanda. So, and it helps us understand a little more because we knew she was supposed to be Agatha, but we didn't know if Wanda did this, like if Wanda brought Agatha in, if she had manifested her, or what it is. But it seems like these two don't know each other right now. So, right?
Well, it definitely seems like Wanda doesn't know Agatha. I'm not sure about the other
You're
way
right,
around.
you're right, of course. I mean, Wanda's a celebrity, everybody knows her.
Yeah.
But you're right, that's what I meant. It definitely seems like Wanda has not yet met Agatha.
Yeah.
Well, she has now, and she has revealed her true self, tells her, yeah, I'm a witch. We are both powerful women. I have a bunny. I don't know. For some reason, he keeps coming up, that rabbit. I guess it must be one of her trademarks in the comics.
It's named after her son in the comics.
Her son is named Senor...
It's Scratchums, or Nathan Scratchums, or something
Oh,
like
okay.
that.
Okay. Fine. Anyways, then we get a wonderful little theme song called Agatha All Along, where she reveals to Wanda that she has been pulling the strings behind the scenes this entire series. Ooh.
And she was the one that did Pietro. At least made him go to the door.
That's right. So we see, we get to find all these little things. Including even in a sort of fourth wall interview that Wanda did, Agnes, we didn't know it was Agnes at the time, or Agatha, had asked, do you think maybe this is what you deserve? Of course, Wanda didn't answer. She was like, wait a minute, are you even supposed to be talking? But that's an interesting question.
It is.
Now, loved the theme song.
Great.
Even at the end when she says, I even killed Sparky.
The dog. It's very sad. It really establishes her character.
It's sad, but it's funny. It's a funny moment. It is very like the Munsters type theme song, And we get to go back throughout this whole season and see all the little things that Agatha is now taking credit for. But is it true?
Well, we don't know, but it's also not a lot of major stuff. She certainly is having an influence, but she's not running this show. No, she is not. So why is she here? What is her motivation for being here? Has she brought Salem 7 with her? Yeah. And where's her husband, Ralph? Ralph. And who is Ralph? Yeah. She constantly refers to Ralph. We've never seen him. But he's got to be something, right? Yep. Anyways, I feel like this show has provided lots of red herrings and lots of misdirection, and I am very suspicious even of the Agatha All Along theme song reveal. I don't know if Agatha believes it. I don't know if Agatha is covering for someone. But I think Wanda is seeing cracks herself, knows that there are things happening that she has not made happen. So certainly this is a good time for Agatha to reveal herself and take that credit, whether or not it is entirely warranted. So what do you guys think? Like, is it really Agatha all along, or is there something even more at play? Because there's probably something else. We're only on episode 7. We've always been talking about Agatha being Agnes, and that's fine. We have also been talking about a bigger villain, and certainly there seems to be some nefarious things lurking on the borders all the time. Yeah. Only really hints so far, but I'm suspicious. Well, be suspicious. Okay, thank you. Now, for the first time ever, we get a mid-credits scene. So, stay during the credits. It is not a big scene, but it's an important one. Yes, it is. We see 2 major characters here. Monica Rambeau goes snooping. Snooping around Agatha's house. Yep. Finds a storm door. And it seems to be, I mean, the walls are full of the same vines that are in the secret lair. So it seems to be perhaps a second way of getting down there. Monica sees those vines glowing purple. But before she can do anything about it, she is interrupted by Pietro. Ooh, Pietro. He says something like Snooper's gonna snoop. He says something that's kind of like sinister, I thought. Yeah, I agree. He's giving off sinister vibes here. Yep. He's not on Monica's team. He's not on Monica's team. Which, whose team is he on? Yeah. Because I'm not sure he's on Wanda's team. I'm pretty sure he's not on Wanda's team. Mm-hmm. So, obviously we've been suspicious of Pietro since day one. Yeah, well, he showed up with a different face. Sure, and that should be a huge red flag, right, Sean? Yes, it should be. Right. And now that Agatha has kind of insinuated that she had something to do with his appearance, whether or not that's true. Did she call him here? Did she change his face? Is it Pietro at all? Does she even know? Yeah. We don't know. But that's where the multiverse cracks start to kind of make sense. Oh boy, stuff is bleeding. So I have to say, the plot thickens. It does. Yeah. I am ready for some answers. Instead, we just keep thickening this soup. And quite a soup. This is a gumbo. Yep. Now, if you don't mind a spoiler within a spoiler here, I'll just say that they are releasing a line of Funko Pops for this show. There's some really great black and white ones that look super cool. There's also the line of their Halloween costumes. Oh, that's cool. And Pietro's is labeled Pietro Maximoff. In quotes. So I feel like they may have accidentally spilled the beans on that a little bit. Yeah, it's in quotes. So they have told us that this is Pietro. It is not Pietro, it is Pietro.
So who is it really?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit, if we can, again about Mephisto. Could be Nightmare, because that's a Doctor Strange villain, but we're thinking Mephisto.
Yeah, Doctor Strange meets all these guys, so...
Okay. I mean, we know, and he's dropped hints. He's called the kids demon spawn. He says he's here to raise some hell. He said Westview was nice as hell. Like, I feel like he's dropping a lot of hints.
Mm-hmm. He is.
But then, how is that connected to Agatha? Because I mean, you tell me. But I thought Agatha was not really a villain in
She's
comics.
not. That's true.
So.
Yeah.
I mean, Agatha's supposed to be like a mentor, basically.
That's correct.
To Wanda.
Yes, she is. She really teaches her the magic part of the Scarlet Witch in the comic books.
So then...
Yeah, so then it's not necessarily that everyone's working together, but Agatha did say she was controlling Pietro, which doesn't make a lot of sense if Pietro is Mephisto.
That's right. So maybe Agatha just thinks she did this.
Maybe.
And Mephisto is using this...
As cover? Mm-hmm. Could be.
But we did see like her purple swirly stuff as if she's doing mind control.
Yes.
On Pietro.
Yep.
So, I don't know.
Oh, it's still wide open. We really don't know.
7 episodes in, they're still killing us with all these secrets, all these possibilities, stringing us along.
Yeah.
We don't know.
Keeping us watching.
But there's only 2 episodes left, guys. What can possibly be coming down those pipes?
Yeah, well, anything goes.
Clearly, yes. Well, I mean, since I think Pietro showed up, we know that anything goes. Anything can happen in this show. And everything has happened. So many crazy things have happened. And continue to happen. I can't believe they continue to happen this late into the series. I'm very surprised by that. They're keeping us on our toes.
That's the luxury of the MCU, is they don't have to wrap up anything satisfactorily.
That is true, and I'm worried about that.
Yeah. Oh, I think that has to be the case at this point.
Great.
It's leading us somewhere.
Okay.
But not to an easy resolution.
Oh boy. Well, I'm still optimistic about it. I'm still excited about it. I want to know how it all goes down. So episodes 8 and 9 are coming at us next week and the week after. That's it. So.
Enjoy.
Well, what else can you do, right? I mean, I know we're loving this series. Like, people generally are loving this series. That's why I say watch it week to week. It is so great week to week. It is so fun to hear from everybody and to contribute to the conversation that's out there, because it is a big conversation. And, you know, there's only a few times really when a whole culture can get swept up in something. And I think we haven't been swept up like this since the Tiger King. So, you know, maybe Bridgerton. Bridgerton kind of was a pretty good blip there too. But I have to say, Bridgerton and Tiger King, we could binge watch. WandaVision has kept us talking about it for months now. So, good for you, Disney Plus. This was a great series to start with. A great start to Phase 4.
Yep.
But oh my gosh, yeah, it's setting up a lot, but I'm gonna need a little closure on this, guys, just so you know.
I'm sure they'll give you something.
Okay, great. Let me put that in my...
Just a taste.
Okay, well, I will readjust my expectations then. But please tell us what you think about this big Agatha reveal and how much you think she is really pulling the strings here and who else might be at play. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye.